And now I'd like to call on Randy Picht, the Executive Director of the Donald W. Reynolds Journalism Institute, to tell you about some of RJI's exciting work in the area of press credibility and freedom.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. So RJI is going to be celebrating its 10th anniversary in the fall. And it was started in 2008 with a very simple mission, which is to make sure that journalism has a long and bright future. We do that with various projects. We have a fellowship program where we invite folks from the industry to come in with their innovative ideas, and we help them get them accomplished, creating tools, strategies for the industry. We leverage the great students at the University of Missouri and professors to come up with collaborative efforts with the industry. We do research. We have been known to invest in journalism startups. So we try to do whatever we can to help journalism get better. Truth and trust, of course, are topics that we're often thinking about at the Institute, especially now. And let me say one thing about the Institute is that, especially also in this town, Institute kind of means think tank, and what we like to think of ourselves at RJI is that we're a think and do tank. And so we emphasize the doing as much as possible. So we're talking about truth and trust, and you know, really it's still kind of hard to comprehend that we and everybody in journalism is thinking about it so much. I understand that so many things in journalism that we took for granted have been and are being disrupted, but facts and trustworthiness, you can't get more fundamental than that, and you can't get more important than that. But that's where we find ourselves, and I like to think that in the end, the efforts to be more transparent, to defend the value of facts, literally, and find new ways to engage our audiences is going to be a net positive for journalism and make us better. At RJI, it's led to a terrific initiative called trustingnews.org, which is, in some ways, our skunkworks for helping journalism build or rebuild trust. We work with 30 newsrooms around the country, newspapers, TV stations, and some nonprofits as well. With them, we've conducted over 400 experiments using Facebook, which is where the audience is right now, to address trust and engagement. We have great anecdotal results from that, and we'll be doing some rigorous academic research to go with those results. And kind of a sign of the times in terms of the topic of trust in journalism, yesterday, Neiman Lab, which is the website that tracks the news industry and you know, sort of our industry publication, came out with a story that said, you know, here's your guide to all the different trust initiatives that are going on around the country right now, and they felt compelled to have kind of a scorecard of who's doing what, and this indication of how much we're thinking about it. And also, shameless plug, I was happy that we were listed first. Also, on the fact side, in our Futures Lab, we're creating a fact-checking tool for any newsroom. So fact-checking sort of came on the scene, and some websites started doing it, and then some big publications started doing it. It seems like this is going to be a part of journalism going forward, having some kind of tool for readers to use. So we want to make that tool that any news organization can kind of plug into their workflow and offer that to readers. Next week, RJI will be announcing its newest class of fellows. Fellowship program, we have some folks that come and spend 2 semesters with us. We also have 2 flavors where folks can stay where they are and keep their jobs and work with us on a project basis. So I like to tell everybody that is interested in applying that we are the most flexible fellowship program in the country. So we will have 9 fellows, and some of those projects are going to touch on truth and trust. So you might want to keep an eye out for some of those. You might find those interesting. So again, we're delighted to help bring this event to you from RJI, and we're eager to hear the insights about the First Amendment from our panel of attorneys and the latest on how Washington journalists are adjusting to the new landscape, which I think is fair to say is like no other landscape right now. So thank you very much, and enjoy the festivities.